How do you convert the highest percentage of your website visitors into actual meetings booked on your calendar? I'm Samantha Russell from 20 Over 10, and today this is exactly what we're going to discuss. I'm going to share with you a 7-step formula that, if you implement, will help convert the highest number of website visitors into booked calendar appointments. So let's jump right in. Okay, tip number 1. This is really easy to do. You should be able to leave here today and do this without a problem, which is add a calendar link to every single page of your website. And while that may sound too good to be true, too easy, it makes a lot of sense, right? We don't know which page somebody is going to enter our website on. It could be our homepage. It could be a blog post. It could be a landing page. So having a calendar link on every single page is crucial so that you can best capture them and turn them into a booked calendar meeting. So you can use a tool like Schedule Once or Calendly or Acuity. All of those are great tools that you can use that offer a widget that will actually create a floating button. So once you install it once, it will automatically appear on every single page, even as you add new blog posts or new pages. So again, add a calendar link using a tool like that to make it really easy for people to book a time no matter where they land on your website. Okay, moving on to tip number 2. You need to make sure that you explicitly state who you work with on the homepage and the other most important pages of your website. So your about page or the bio team page, as well as your contact page. And those 3 pages are the most crucial. So homepage, about page, and contact page. And when I say explicitly state who you work with, I don't just mean saying something like, we work with physicians, right? You need to have a lot more information to help the person landing on your site immediately self-qualify. You want them to think, oh, this advisor really works with people just like me. They get the questions that are already going through my mind, and they're gonna help provide answers to those questions. So you might have a couple different case studies that explain how you've worked with similar clients. You could have really beautiful icons that help articulate the key questions that they do have. Use the language that they use when they're thinking about their own financial concerns. But again, make it so that the visitors to your website immediately can self-qualify and know that they're a good fit so that they will want to book a time on your calendar. Having a generic statement like, we help you get to financial freedom, is not going to convert leads. Okay, the third thing you absolutely want to make sure you do is to explicitly state what you charge. So what I'm talking about here is having a pricing or a fees page. Transparency in pricing is really prevalent everywhere else in the world, maybe not in healthcare, but pretty much everywhere else, except in financial services. We have so many financial advisors that do not explicitly state what they charge for what they provide. Yet as a consumer, anywhere else we go online, whether we're looking for a plumber or a restaurant or buying a shirt, we want to know, what is the price? What is it going to cost me? People will be much more hesitant to even reach out to you and book a time with you if they don't know what you're going to charge them, right? And that's because they don't want to get on your email list or have you start calling them all the time if ultimately what you charge is going to them be too expensive. So you need to explicitly list your fees and your pricing. We have a great blog post that we'll link to below, all about how to do this in a really effective, well-designed way. And there's many different ways you can lay out fees and pricing. So don't feel like there's only one right way to do it. And that blog post will give you tons of examples. But again, the more you can be transparent, the more likely you are to get someone to go ahead and book a time on your calendar because they're going to feel comfortable with you. And that leads me to point number 4, which is that you should write your homepage copy in a problem solution format. So when we're talking about comfortability and allowing somebody to say, okay, yes, this person gets me, they understand me, I'm gonna feel comfortable working with them. If you can list out the problems that they are facing or that are going through their mind and the solutions that you provide to those problems, you're gonna make it much more likely that they would be excited to hear how you can help them. So don't make your homepage copy all about you. I see all the time mistakes like, our firm has been in financial services since 1975, or for over 30 years, we've helped people like this do this. That's all about you and your firm. Instead, what you want to do is make it all about your prospect and your clients and what keeps them up at night and what problems and concerns that they have. So again, write your homepage copy to be problem solution oriented. The fifth thing that you absolutely want to make sure you do is for any calls to action you have that are outside of just book a meeting, that they are well written and well designed. So let's talk about both of those things. First of all, a call to action is just a button that you want someone to click to take the next step. Maybe somebody's not yet ready to book a time on your calendar, so you want to have some secondary calls to actions so that you can at least get their contact information and start dripping on them to keep your firm top of mind. So these would be things like download our guide or subscribe to our newsletter. When you're designing these buttons, you want to make sure that the color is a contrasting color from the other elements on your page so that the person's eye is drawn to it. So that's what I mean by well designed. And then when I say well written or have good copy, what I mean there is that you want to, again, use the language of the person that you're speaking to. So if you're talking with pre-retirees or people nearing retirement, you might want to write something like get your free retirement checkup, or are you on track to retire, right? And that would be the button that they click. So again, make sure your calls to actions are well designed and well written. And then for any form fields that you're having someone fill out, so whether it's scheduling a time on your calendar or subscribing to a newsletter or downloading a guide, you don't want them to have to fill out more than 2 form fields. So tip number 6 is keep your forms to 2 fields or less. And all they should be is name and email. That's it. The more fields that you ask someone to complete, the less likely they are to actually finish it, and so the less likely they are to convert. Really simple, but it's a huge mistake I see people make all the time. So go back to your website. If you have any forms that are asking for more than 2 pieces of information, which is just name and email, delete them and redo it so that you're only asking for those 2 pieces of info. And then tip number 7, include a 1 to 3 minute video right on the homepage that allows people to get a sense of you or your firm or the top management team at your firm. Because what we know is that people ultimately decide on which financial advisor to hire based upon whether or not they think they will like working with that person. That is a key indicator. So if someone's just visiting your website, it can be really hard for them to get a sense of who you are as a person. So having a video where they can see your smile, hear your voice, see how you talk with your hands like I do, it will really help them build rapport and start to feel like they know you. And we know from psychology that people are more likely to do business with people they like, and that building rapport also helps build trust. So video helps do all of those things. So you absolutely want to get a video on the homepage of your website, just 1 to 3 minutes long, to introducing yourself, talking a little bit about how you help people just like the prospect visiting your site at that time. And then at the end of the video, make sure you tell them what to do next. So you can say something like, if you'd like to learn more or you'd like to do a free assessment of your retirement strategy and whether you're on track, click the button below. And so give them the next step that they should take. And on that note, if everyone watching this video would give a thumbs up to like it so that we can tell YouTube that the content we're creating is liked by all of you watching it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because both of those things help us get in front of more people, which helps us create more content for all of you. So if you find it helpful, subscribe. And every week we share a new marketing tip just like this in a video format that you can use to help you grow your financial advisor business. Again, I'm Samantha Russell from 20 Over 10, and I'll see you next week.